Good evening. Welcome to Talkin RSL on Talkin Sports. Brian Dunseth has the week off. Dunny will be back next week. The man of this week, Rubio Rubin, is sitting in for him. Rubio, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You have gone through a wild trip here at RSL. Your first year, you came in, 8 goals, 5 assists. That was a heck of a year. Then you only have 1 goal. You have injuries the following year. This year, you have a long, dry spell, and you go into Austin. And the one thing I was told, and I was told this by somebody who works in the front office, I was told this by somebody who works on the coaching staff. They said, Rubio is not getting the stats. He's not getting the goals, assists, but he's doing the dirty work constantly throughout the matches between the boxes that we have to have done. And in that cold open we just cut in TV, we usually want to go fast and get to the next thing. And normally we would have picked it up with Gomez sending the ball in and Chang the assist in your goal. But we backed it up a little further, and people can rewind and watch this. Leading up to that play, Rubio, you have the ball, you're driving right at the top of the 18, and you go to the ground, and on the ground, you're about to lose the ball, and you're on the ground, and you push that pass out to the left, and that leads to the shot, the save, Gomez. It's like, if you don't compete in that minute, RSL doesn't have possession, and you don't get that goal 20 seconds later. So my long setup is for this question. With so much frustration, so few goals, so few assists, how do you keep pushing yourself and making these minutes happen match after match, and it eventually pays off in Austin? Where do you get the drive?
Oh, I mean, to be completely honest with you, it has been very difficult. A lot of it is in your head, especially as a striker. You want to score, you want to contribute an assist, you want to be part of the team and create the opportunities and stuff. But like you said, you have to trust the process. You have to trust the off-season work. You have to trust in the people that are around you, the coaching staff, your teammates, and even my family and stuff to just continue to keep going, because that's life. I mean, like I said before, life isn't easy, and I've had my moments last year and even the beginning of this year. But obviously, to get those 2 goals, to get those two assists, just kind of boost my confidence. I just want to continue to contribute to the team wins and help the team as much as I can. And so yeah, I just want to continue to be in this form and help as much as I can.
So while I'm calling the game on the radio, you get the second goal in Austin, right? And it's 81st minute. So it puts you in a great position to win the game at that point. And I start going, and all I can think of is how sweet this must be, because you got the red card in Austin in the playoff game a year ago, right? And you're up 2 goals, and a bunch of stuff happens after you leave, and there's a last-second goal, and they win on penalties. And I'm thinking, you're an athlete. I mean, as a broadcaster, I walk into stadiums and I think of stuff that's happened in that stadium or arena. And I'm thinking, he must have walked in tonight. This must be so sweet. And I'm done saying it. And the color analyst starts talking. I'm like, man, I just made a bunch of assumptions about what he's feeling, and I don't know. So I get a chance to ask you, was it as sweet for you then as I imagined it was?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
good.
after last season, getting the red card and costing my team, making it to the next round of the playoffs. It's hard. It's difficult, especially on the last game of the season, having to swallow that pill and go back home and just remember that for 5, 6 months, because the season didn't start till February, March. But ultimately, to go to Austin and be able to do that and just continue to trust myself, have the confidence, and continue to believe in myself, and just continue to do the work, do the dirty work, and eventually, the ball was going to find me. I was going to find the back of the net. And now that that's behind me, I'm just kind of moving forward and being like, all right, I can do this. That helped me a lot, and I'm just so happy that I was able to do against them and kind of that payback in Austin.
So you get that moment, or those moments with both those goals, and you get into the Open Cup game, and there's got to be a lot of adrenaline, right? Because there's just been so many games so fast. Everybody's played so many minutes. You got to be exhausted. How much does that adrenaline and that confidence carry over when you go out against the Galaxy? How much were those goals worth, even though they're in a separate game and they don't count? How much are those goals worth? Because you obviously had a heck of a performance in that Open Cup quarterfinal win.
Of course, I think confidence, a lot of people don't understand, but in pro sports or even being an athlete, confidence is everything. It's constantly a mind game, trying to make sure you're doing the right thing and just continue to trust yourself. And, to be able to get those 2 goals against Austin, I think it just boosted my confidence to be able to, trust in myself even more, to go out there, express myself, and help the team, ultimately win games and stuff. And just excited and to be a part of this team and continue to fight every single day, especially now that we're in the semifinals of the Open Cup. And hopefully lifting a trophy will be something we can do this year, and that will be something special. So just want to contribute with these wins and help out as much as I can.
When you talk about the confidence, I'm curious, you made the switch and you're playing for Guatemala now, right? You played for the U.S. coming up, 17, under 20, under 17, under 23, all that. And you make the switch and you're playing for Guatemala. You've only played a handful of games, but you've already scored 3 goals. Even though you weren't scoring in MLS, how much does your success in international play, no matter what level or what competition it is, how much of that do you bring back to the club? What's the positive there?
Oh, being able to go to Guatemala is something special. The fan base, as you guys, can see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're always behind me, always supporting. They're watching every single RSL game, always wanting me to, be starting and doing well and helping the team win and stuff like that. So that just gives me an extra boost of confidence to be able to go to these games, international games coming up, and do the same thing that I've been doing the last, 14, 15 games and help out as much as I can with the national team. So I'm super stoked to be able to get back to it and hopefully do well there as well. So a lot of exciting moments coming up in the summer, and just want to make the most of it.
You guys were all pro athletes, but before you were pro athletes, most of you were fans, and some of you still have the fandom on the side. I've seen guys giving each other a hard time about their favorite clubs, their national teams, and all that. It can be hilarious. What has the reaction been inside the club with the announcement of Messi's move to Miami, especially knowing that Miami and RSL are both in the semifinals and could meet in an Open Cup final? What's the reaction like among the guys?
Oh, I think everyone's kind of, shocked, excited. Obviously, just the unknown, I guess, of what is it going to do to the league. It's going to help out the league, MLS, as well as, like you said, we're possibly, if we beat Houston, we can we're going to host the final, and you know, Inter could be coming here, and we could possibly have Messi at American First Field. So it's kind of been all over the place, obviously, with everything and stuff. But I think just ultimately everyone's kind of excited to see one of the greatest players to ever play the game of soccer football to come to our league and represent us and stuff like that. So we're just excited and looking forward to the challenge of being able to hopefully play against him and have him here in the Open Cup final.
Well, that's a long way out, obviously, because the semifinals for the Open Cup are still more than 2 months away when you make that trip to Houston. In the short run, you got New York City FC coming in this weekend, and you look, and they're 13th in the East, and it looks like that ought to be great, but the Galaxy came in as the last place team and won, so there are no guarantees. You actually got a losing record at home, and you've been with this club for 3 years. You've been there for some pretty good times at home. What has to happen to get back to those results that the club had at home when you were just joining RSL?
Yeah, I think just going into these games like we did against Galaxy yesterday, just when we have these leads, being more composed on the ball, being able to keep the ball sometimes, and whenever we feel the pressure or feel like they're on top of us, just being able to put the ball in behind them and continue with our press and stuff like that. But just having more composure on the ball and stuff like that when we have these leads, and I think we will be able to manage games better and get the result that we want.
Well, Rubio, we appreciate a few minutes. And for RSL fans, we're going to have more with him Sunday night on Talkin Sports, his journey internationally, playing for a couple legends of the sport and getting some tips from them along the way. And that'll be Sunday night on Talkin Sports. Rubio, we look forward to that interview, and we'll look forward to seeing you against New York City FC Saturday night. Continued good luck. Hey, draw another penalty, hit the ground, keep the ball alive, lead to another goal. Keep making it happen, Rubio. We appreciate it.
Thank you, David.